everyone, and welcome to another episode of Weddings by Rue. My name is Rue, and I'm an event specialist and a wedding planner. On this channel, we are talking all things wedding planning, where I'm sharing hints, tips, guidelines, recommendations, and advice on how you can plan that special day like a pro. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on anything. Today, we are going to be talking about the guest list. So the first thing you need to know about the guest list is it has to be one of the first things you actually do as you start your wedding planning journey, because it does define a lot of things. For example, your budget and your choice of venue. So I'm going to share with you 4 things that you need to keep in mind while you draft your guest list. Number 1, your guest count will determine your budget. So as you know, a lot of the big ticket items are numbers driven. So your venue, your decor, your catering, your florals, your furnishings, these costs are all determined by the number of guests you will actually have at your wedding. Number 2, family dynamics. So family will have a certain amount of input into your guest list, and you will need to make them feel heard and also communicate the reasons why you would want a certain number of guests on your special day. Number 3, guest numbers do affect experience on the wedding day. Are you looking to have a very intimate wedding, or are you wanting to have a massive party? This will also determine the number of guests that you will invite to your wedding. Number 4, make sure you include your vendors in your guest list, because they're going to be with you throughout the majority of the day and they will need to be catered for. So when you're drafting your guest list, start by writing everyone down, even if you know you're going to cut back later, but at least you'll start with the real list. So your guest list is going to have categories. You're going to have the bride's family and friends, the groom's family and friends, the bride and groom's mutual friends. You're going to have work colleagues, social clubs and associations. You're going to have church, if relevant, and then also your special groups. Special groups is, don't forget to count yourselves as a couple, your bridal team, and of course your vendors. So you probably had a figure in mind as you started to draft this guest list. Maybe it was 100 guests and you're looking at it now and it's like there's 400 people on that list. How do you cut back those numbers to get it down to a number that you are comfortable with? So let me share a few tips with you. Number 1, develop a thick skin. Remember that no matter what you do throughout the wedding planning journey, you're never, ever, ever going to be able to please everyone. It is what it is. Also, you need to avoid those guilt invites. You know, where you meet up with someone and you think, I really should have invited that person. Or even within that guest list, there may be a few guilt names in there. Avoid guilt invites. Number 2, use the 6-month rule, which is 6 months before and 6 months after. If you haven't spoken to somebody or interacted with them in the past 6 months, then you probably don't need to invite them to your wedding. If you don't see yourself speaking to them or interacting with them 6 months after, then you probably don't need to invite them. Number 3, limit certain groups to key representatives or people that you're personally close to. Certain groups, I'm talking about church, social clubs, etc. Obviously, the dynamics are different with every individual, but if you are able to limit within these groups, do so. Number 4 is a no children policy. So we're not saying that children don't belong at weddings. It's entirely up to you, but it is a way to cut back on your guest list. Have a no children policy, or only invite the children of immediate family to your wedding. That will bring your numbers down considerably. Number 5, plus ones. So you have those friends that are single. There are those that are in serious relationships. Obviously, you would invite them and their plus ones. Then you've got those singles but still wanting to mingle. You can take the option of just inviting them without plus ones, and they get to meet some people at the wedding, right? Number 6, avoid broad invites. Avoid having announcements in church or in your social groups or at work, because then you're not able to control the number of guests who will actually attend. So on the flip side, maybe you've drafted your list, you've got, say, 200 names on that list, but you just have a feeling that not all those people are actually going to attend your wedding. This is where RSVPs come in handy. It's very important to have a tight RSV policy as you send out those invites. You can say, make sure you RSVP by a certain date. And if a person has not RSVP'd by that date, you cut them off the list and you stick to that. Because you also don't want to have over catering, and you don't want to then look around your room on the wedding day and see a whole lot of empty tables and empty chairs. Okay, so once you have that final list, you now need to organize it in such a way that the people that are manning the entrance on the wedding day and anyone who is involved from a coordination capacity is able to make quick reference to that list. So go digital with your guest list. You can use Excel, Google Sheets, or any other tool that will help you to sort the list. Include key columns, so surname, first name, confirmation status, and table number, and then you can use that tool to sort your list in alphabetical order, surname first. That way it's easy for anyone to make quick reference to the list. One thing you need to remember is the people that are manning the entrance on your wedding day do not know your guests personally. So it's important for you to not use any nicknames. If you then put me on your guest list as Roo, instead of using my full name, I'm likely to get to the gate and see people I don't know, and I'm going to give them my full name and they won't be able to find me on your guest list. So keep it formal, keep it professional, so that those people that are manning the gate are able to quick reference your guest list and there's no issues at your entrance. So just speaking to my Zim couples out there, we've seen some very interesting names on guest lists. We've seen My Craig, My Roo, Na Cindy, Gogo Jean. We've even seen Rasta on a guest list. And what happened is Rasta came and he no longer had his dreadlocks. And there he was giving his full name, and there was no way we could have figured out that until after a while he said, maybe they put me as Rasta. That's how we found him. But you don't want to have your guests inconvenienced like that on your special day. They become frustrated and then they think that you've even forgotten them. So that's why we say formalize it. Full names, no nicknames, guys. So still talking to my Zim couples out there, because I'm not sure if this happens anywhere else, there is such a thing as a standby guest list. And we've seen this happen, where the day before the wedding, at midnight literally, I'm getting a message from the couple saying, oh, please can you remove this person? They're no longer coming, but can you add on this person? And I often wonder, okay, this person has been on standby since when? And they've been told the day before the wedding that they can now come. You know, it is a real thing, it happens. So just to let you know in advance that you need to be aware that these things do happen. You want to try and mitigate that as much as possible, but it's something that can happen, that names are still changing the day before or even on the actual day of the wedding. It's important that you prioritize, finish, and submit your guest list to the venue or to your wedding planner in good time. We've had instances where guests start to arrive at the venue and the guest list isn't there yet, and this can be an inconvenience to the venue and also to your guests. So remember, guys, your wedding day should be filled with the people who matter most to you. So please, guys, like, share, subscribe. That's a wrap for today. Please also, if you have any questions or any hot topics that you'd like us to touch on, drop them in the comments section and stay tuned. Next episode coming soon.